There.
Okay, we're going live. And we're
Yay!
live. Woo!
Woohoo!
Welcome
It's
to
Friday.
Yeah, it is. Welcome to the Jen and Amy, Amy and Jen coffee chat for the Cricut Crafting Adventure.
Yay. I think
Let's
Jen and
see.
Amy sounds better.
Well, you used that for a whole bunch of like top promo stuff. And so I just like was saying
Uh-huh.
Jen and Amy, but but
Well,
then I like you
I don't
lots
know.
and I don't want you to be minimalized. So I try to say
I know.
Amy and
You're,
Jen.
you're so funny. Oh my
uh,
goodness.
Well, I mean, we're doing it together, so it's like I think that both of us are pretty sensitive about it being the two of
Yes,
us, you know?
I agree. Let me lift up my table. I have
Oh,
one of
let's
those
see, we've got,
magical,
oh,
adjustable
you do.
tables.
Oh,
Yes.
Jasper. Yeah, Jasper's in so Jasper's doing the moderating again for those of you who did not join us yesterday. Sorry, yesterday was my husband Jeremy. Today is Jasper. This is Jasper. So Jasper is 18.
Yes.
And
I remember
Jasper,
Jasper and his fancy headshot.
and Jasper,
Fancy
yeah,
pic.
it's like I haven't printed out a senior photos yet, so this is what I've got.
Oh,
But Jasper was like, he did a poll the very first day, asking, if people were more like Jen Squirrel or Amy who follows the recipe. And that was like really
mm-hmm.
fun. And so yesterday, Jeremy tried to do like the same thing, only he was bragging because he upped the ante and he did 2 polls. And I think it
Yes.
was, do you like gold or silver better? And it was also, what
Uh-huh.
would you like to see the coffee chats continue? So
Yes. That was a good one
overwhelmingly,
too.
people said like they would like to see it weekly.
Yeah. Well, we chat every day, so once a week, we can chat with other people. That'd be kind of fun.
So it looks like we do have some people here already. Oh, from
That's
Australia.
awesome.
Carla's from Australia. In Oregon's
Michelle's
Linda.
in St. Louis.
Oh, Maria
Wow.
finished her medals.
Ohio.
She did an engraved metal spatula. I have to say that's pretty
I
exciting
tagged
to
you in
me.
it this morning. It was so cute. Did you see it? I tagged you in
Uh-uh.
it this morning.
No,
Oh,
I'll
it's
go
so
look.
cute. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I was running around with
I
the chicken
tagged you
with
in
my
it.
head cut off again because I wanted to make some stuff to show you guys. So I was like, quick,
You're so
let's do
good.
this. Yeah,
You're
I
so
know.
good.
I'm not so good.
Kansas. Pam's in Kansas. Good morning, Linda. Good morning, Rebecca. Yes, we're here, Kathy. I showed up at coffee chat with no coffee. So Jen had to give me 2 minutes to
And actually, my coffee's
get
getting
my
delivered
coffee.
because I on my second cup, and I'm like coming in here. I'm like, there's none left. So
That's nice. Hi, Sandra. Oh, yay. Everyone's here. I love this. You look like you don't need more coffee, if I'm honest. You look very dancy today.
huh? Yeah, no, it's lucky that we didn't go like live 5 minutes earlier because I was still in my pajamas. So I think this is
Oh,
adrenaline. It's like, quick, we're going live.
hurry up. It's happening.
Uh-huh.
Well, I went through the Facebook group again this morning and it was really fun to see all the people, sharing their projects. Super cool. I love it.
Yeah, I was actually I was up till like 1 last night, so I was in there pretty late, just kind of looking around and seeing what.
hmm
And it's so fun to see the pictures come in, like to see the different
hmm
variations and the things that people are doing. Like Emily's
hmm
suitcase, like there are so many different papers that people are using for that. It's really fun to see all
Yeah,
the.
did you see the one? Did you see the one that looked like vintage leather? It was like a paper that
Hmm.
was all leathery. That was amazing.
And I
And then there
saw
was
one that
like a
looked like
blue,
wood.
yeah, there was like a wood grain one, but it was like a blue. It was beautiful.
Oh, I
Really
got my
fun.
coffee. Thanks, honey.
All right, here we are. Let's go. Good morning, coffee
Woohoo!
chat. Good
Good
morning.
morning, friends. Now can start, right? We've got our coffee.
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of different projects coming into the group, and it's so fun to see.
Yeah, and I love when someone says, "Oh, I didn't have exactly what I needed, but I improvised," or, "I didn't have the same colors, but I made it my own." That's a way of trying something new. That's a way of experimenting, which we
It
love.
is. Yep. No, it's like anytime we make so inspiration fascinates me. And so anytime that we decide we're going to grab the yellow crayon instead of the blue crayon, or, something like that, I mean, we're making these decisions, like multiple decisions when we're creating something that we don't necessarily think about, And I think we're much more emotional than we think we are when we do that, because we're reaching for the things that we feel like would look good. And so crafters in particular tend to think that they're just following a design, that they're not creating sometimes. And that's so not true. Like on so many levels,
I
not
agree.
true. Yeah.
I agree.
So
All the time in my like in my Facebook group and my earrings club, where I make the design, every week I make the designs, and then I make a sample in a video. But I always try and remind people, this is just what I have laying around. It's just what I picked, and I really encourage them to try and make their own choices, their own color choices, their own faux leather vinyl choices. And then I always see ones that are prettier than mine. Does that ever happen to you? I see, they'll post like samples in my earring club in the Facebook group. I did like a dragonfly and a butterfly a couple weeks ago. They were so pretty, like really detailed. And I keep seeing ones that are prettier than mine, and I love that. It's nice to see when people make it their own. So that's cool.
I totally agree. I totally think that that's the truth.
Let's see.
Roseanne says that is the adventure.
It is the adventure. My friend Tamara is here. Love her.
Kathy's watching from bed. She's a night owl too. Yeah.
Yeah. Yay.
Yep.
Oh,
and it looks like she was here, but then she had to go back to work.
Oh.
I feel for you.
Kim is asking if the group will stay live once the event is over. The Facebook group? Yeah, our Facebook group will stay open so we can continue, making and sharing stuff and
Amy,
just hanging out together. I think that'd be really fun.
See if people will say, I think your audio is off from your visual. Like they're not tracking quite. So say something.
All right. Say something.
Does that, no?
I don't know. Does that mean I get to take these stupid AirPods off? Because I hate them. Hang on, let me try again. Is it okay if I hang up and come back?
I think that's what we're going to want to do. Yep. Just to see if that's the thing. Yeah.
All right. If I don't come back, you not going to say
I don't want to do it without you. Oh, boy. Okay, so she said there, Lisa Sand said there is a delay that she was seeing. So, all right, so now's when we talk about Amy, right? We totally dish about how awesome Amy is. Just kidding. Okay, so I think she's going to be right back, but let's talk about, like, what do you got? Are you guys all here? Oh, there she is. And I will add her. Okay, you're back. Try talking.
Yeah, I'm back.
It looks good. It does look good. Yep.
I'm hoping the problem is my AirPods because I hate them.
I know you do. Didn't you just try to get a new pair that were better?
Yes, I'm waiting for them to be delivered by the Apple guy.
I have to say, though, I don't think the AirPods are responsible for the feed between.
No. Probably not.
But good try. Oh, no, I need a new pair. Yeah. Okay, anyway. So everybody's here. It's a Friday. We're adventuring. We have today and tomorrow left.
That's
Amy,
right.
Can you believe it?
I cannot believe it. It's been a super fun week. I've had a great time. Especially, can you believe that, last summer when we thought of this idea, did you think that we would be able to do it and it would be so big and cool?
No. What are we at for free ticket for the people attending now?
We are at 45,000 people. That's a lot of people.
It's hard for me to comprehend. I was asking my husband, I'm like, how many people fit in our church, trying to just get a visual, like how many people that would be if we were all in the same room. And I just kind of couldn't even imagine. So
it's really cool. And people, right, Rebecca, she hates the AirPods too. They don't fit my ears. That's what I'm saying. And I'm fine unless I smile or talk or laugh, and then they fall out. But I'm going to figure it out, because if we're going to do coffee chats, I need a better solution to my AirPod problem. Oh, Christine, thank you. She says I taught her to make earrings. That's so sweet. It
Oh,
has gone by so fast. It really
happy birthday
has.
to Lisa Ann too. It was her birthday on
Aw,
Wednesday.
it
Which
was your birthday on Wednesday. Awesome.
Linda says we're making her get up early, and Corey says she's chasing her 4-year-old around today, or 4-year-old grandson
Wow.
around today. Is it like
Oh, that
cooler to
sounds
have a
fun.
4-year-old grandson than a 4-year-old kid? I'm just thinking it might
Ab
be.
Absolutely, because at the end of the day, they go home.
Yeah. I have
Bye bye.
friends that are just a little bit older because I had Jasper when I was 30. So I have some friends that are just a little bit older, but they're starting to have grandkids. And I'm just thinking,
Mm-hmm.
God, that actually looks pretty fun. So,
Yeah. No, it is fun. My sister-in-law, she has, I think she just told me last night they're having their 11th grandkid because they have 8 kids.
okay.
So, and their kids are of that age. Their kids are adults and they're starting to have kids. So, yeah, 11th grandbaby on the way. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Yep.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I keep telling my kids I don't want grandkids yet.
Well,
Slow down.
and there's a
You
time and
know,
a season for everything when it's kind of the best. And yeah.
yes. But I
Okay.
can't wait.
So,
I'm going to be a crafty grandma. I'm going to
are you?
craft with my grandkids. Yeah.
My mother is. She actually, my parents, my mom was an elementary school teacher and my dad was a high school
Uh-huh.
teacher. And they are like the best grandparents because they love kids so much. They're like, yes, give us more kids. Like they love spending
Aw,
time with the grandkids. So
I
that's been
love
really
that.
fun. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Wow, Pam says she
Especially
has
when they're
14.
younger.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
Wow,
exactly,
14.
Martha. Martha says grands are better, more fun, and you get to send them home.
Okay, so this is exciting to me. In the chat, Nicola says that this is the week that has made her take her Cricut Joy out of the box. Guys,
Yay.
we all know how monumental that is, right? Like, so
Mm-hmm.
everybody here like understands how huge it is just to get over that initial hurdle of having the idea of I'm going to be crafting with machine. Like,
Right,
it's not, it's not scissors, it's not
right,
glue, it's a machine, and it can be really
right.
intimidating.
And it's expensive. And then there's this dread of what if I open it and I don't understand it, and now it's hard to return it, and I invested all this money and it was stupid. I get it.
Well, and once you
It's a
do
big,
take it out of the box, don't you feel like there's this moment of panic? Like, okay, I invested this money to do this thing, and now
mhm,
all of a sudden, and there was like so many things. Like when I got mine, I'm like, there are so many things I can do with this, but it was like this big
mhm,
giant, so many things. And so when I actually sat down with my computer and hooked it up, and I'm like, okay, what were those again? It's
mhm.
like hard to like narrow it down.
Yeah. And they're not, I mean, Cricut is awesome and they have so many online ways to learn, but it's not, when you open the box, there's not really directions. They give you that little, sample of vinyl to cut your first project, but sometimes you want like a manual and you want to flip through it and look at the things, and it's not like that. So
Yep.
that can be a little intimidating too.
Yeah. Well, and I think you really have to be self motivated to learn and willing to. So that's another
Hmm.
thing too, willing to be a beginner again. So willing to ask questions
Yes.
and say, I have no clue how to do this. Like,
Hmm.
just so many of us are at this age are experts in some field that to be able to come back and say, oh, you guys, I am such a newbie at this is, I mean, kind of humbling, but
Hmm.
at the same time, really freeing too, I feel like. So,
Yeah, no, it is. It's definitely a mindset. It's a mindset of willing to accept that you don't know everything, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or you're not going to figure it out. You don't have to be an expert, and willingness to ask help, um, learn from others. But that's where the creativity happens, and that's
yeah.
how inspiration grows,
Yeah.
So I love that. I was telling you the other day, I've been cutting vinyl for years and years, but on a different machine. So when I bought a Cricut in 2019, my little blog started out as a jewelry making blog, but for
Hmm.
beading, because I've always been like a teeny tiny beader, little teeny tiny beads. And then I wrote some posts, and I wrote this post about making these like earrings from, yes, and I met you. But I wrote this post about making earrings using these like little teardrop shapes from Hobby Lobby, and it was the most popular post on my blog. And then I realized it was because people wanted to know how to cut that shape with a Cricut. So I bought a
Mm,
Cricut for the first time in 2019, and even though I was very experienced at cutting things, I didn't know how to use a Cricut either.
mhm.
So, you know, and then people tell you like, go to YouTube, but where do you go? It can be a little challenging. So what's great about an event like ours is you can learn. We wanted to give people all these different techniques. They could make a project from start to finish and kind of get the highlights of what the experts' tips are for that particular technique or material.
Yeah, and I think we tried really hard to make sure that there was a variety of skill levels too. Like so, or not even skill levels. We wanted everything to be pretty basic, but we wanted different materials, different tools, you know, so that the paper crafter would feel encouraged and supported to try full leather.
Yeah.
And, you know, so kind of, you know, finding your own way to some different things that you can do with your Cricut, because we do kind of get stuck in a rut too, I think.
Oh, for sure. And you're right. It's not really skill level. It's more just about comfort level and maybe what you're accustomed to doing a lot versus something that you haven't tried before and might seem intimidating.
Yes, like print and cut. Because I mean,
don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, let's see it in the chat. What is your guys' biggest, like, what's the one thing that you feel like you can't, well, should we say can't do with your Cricut, or are scared to do, or?
Yeah, I think
I want to know what their big hurdle is right now. Like, what is it that you think that you're scared to do, I guess?
I mean, I have things I'm scared. Is there anything you're scared to do with your Cricut? Because you try everything.
Well,
I think everyone knows what I'm scared of with my Cricut, but you haven't really.
Well, so I hadn't tried wood until this last fall. I actually had the idea for a little glow, like with my Glowforge. It's like shaped like a little coffee cup holder. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then people were like, well, I want to know how to do this with a Cricut, right? Because, you know, not everybody has the Glowforge. So then, snarky Jen. So then I wanted to like, okay, well, so how do I do this? And then I had tried something else too, where I was cutting wood veneer, which I'd never done before. Oh, and chipboard. Because I wanted to like, it wasn't so much, I mean, I don't know that I was scared, but everything new kind of intimidates. And so I don't know that I was necessarily scared, but I didn't really want to do it because it would be hard. And I like doing what I do. But then I had a reason to do it. I found a project and I had people that wanted to do it. So it was just like, okay, now I got to do this. I'm going to do this. And yeah, so engraving wood, I had never done that before this. So that was me kind of challenging myself.
Yeah, I love that. That's cool. And isn't it better when you feel like, at least for me, if I feel like I'm trying something because other people want to know and other people are going to benefit from the knowledge, then I feel more encouraged. Because I'm kind of like a helper. I want to help people. So that gets me inspired over that hump of being afraid. Let's see.
Okay, so we're getting some really good...
We are cutting basswood. Corey says engraving is still hard. Corey, me too. We need Jen to talk us through it. She's always like, it's so easy, and I have 75 tutorials. But I need her to hold my hand and show me. Wood cutting, layering tiny vinyl for sure, sublimation.
Yeah, actually the layering vinyl.
Yeah. Does anyone ever worry that they're going to waste their materials or like waste money? Do you know what I mean? Because if you just try it and you don't know what's going to happen, that's okay. That's like an emotional thing you have to get over. But then sometimes you feel like you're going to waste the money that you spent on materials. Like metal's not cheap, faux leather's not cheap.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do the faux leather this morning just because I thought, oh, I'll try it. I'm gonna do it. And then I'm like looking at my pretty faux leather sheets, and I'm like, but they're so pretty, and I only have one of this. What happens if it doesn't like work? Do I do a test cut?
The good thing is you could fit about six camper keychains on that piece.
I was gonna use it for the for the leather passports. Covers that.
Oh, actually. Yes.
So we'll talk about that.
Oh yeah.
So then
I'm excited.
So then it would use a whole thing, you know. But I thought this leather would actually go really well with Tisa's blinged luggage tags, which I haven't done yet, but I want to.
I'm so excited about that project.
So I'm already trying to coordinate.
Corey's encouraging us with our cruise idea.
Oh, she is.
Wants to. wants you to teach us how to engrave on a cruise. I'm all about that. Yeah, see, a lot of people are saying that they, you know, oh, Kathy says she doesn't get nervous until it's a gift. That makes sense.
Oh
And then
yeah,
some people are worried about wasting material. So
quite a few
Maria says she
people.
wasted, yeah, Maria says she wasted 2 rolls of heat transfer vinyl, but she learned a ton. So that's a great attitude to have. I love that.
Oh, Jasper, somebody called for a poll. They want to know what you're scared of: print and cut, sublimation, engraving. Uh,
All of Jen's things are
yeah,
scary.
he might not know enough about Cricut to be able to do that poll.
Well, that's okay. We can see in the comments.
Yep. Okay. So let's see. Oh, someone said designing. So learning Inkscape and Canva are.
Hmm.
Okay, Stacy actually said I want to engrave a picture. All right. So here's the thing with engraving photos, is I know Kay Hall, and Kay Hall she wrote the book on how to engrave photos. And so anytime someone says, I want to engrave a photo, I say, go to Kay, because she is the expert. And so, like, if I know somebody who can do things and has taught things much better than I have, I'm like, yeah, go there. So Stacy, Kay Hall is Clever Someday. So she has videos on YouTube, and then she has an engraving group on Facebook, and she is fabulous. So if you want to do photos, go there. If you want to engrave spatulas, come to me.
That's right.
Or metal, or infusible ink, or other
I
stuff.
I think your mom wants to go on a river cruise. We need to get your mom on a big, you and your mom. I'm
Is
gonna
my
have to give
mom
her
in the
my pep
chat?
talk. Uh-huh. I'm gonna have to give your mom the same pep talk I gave you about the ocean cruises.
Yeah, so I have a fear of big bodies of water that are violent. And so I went on a river cruise with my mom, but I could see each bank. And I was confident enough in my skills that I could swim to either one.
Right.
Ocean cruises are scary.
I don't know.
Not scary?
They're pretty fun. Not scary. And it's really, you're calling it a violent body of water. It's really not a violent body of water. If you went in it and there were sharks surrounding you, then yes, it would become, or if it was a hurricane, then it would become a violent body of water. But Lisa says she likes a river cruise. Why do I keep
Lori
coming
says
back
it's
to the
never a waste if you're learning and growing. And you know what? I
like that?
absolutely ascribe.
I like that.
Yeah, I agree too. So even when things go wrong and sideways and completely don't
Hmm.
work, you've learned not to do that. And that actually happens to me quite a bit. So
This is actually a good segue into our schedule for today, because there are some cool techniques
there you
on
go.
day 4. Maybe we should get into that,
All right, yeah,
because there's
actually,
a really cool technique that I didn't know you could do with a Cricut here on day 4. River or ocean cruise. Can I vote in my own poll? Ocean. Can I vote more than once, Jasper? Jasper, make it so I can vote. So
okay.
basically, the poll is deciding what cruise Jen has to go on. So everyone picked ocean. Okay.
Amy's like, take some Dramamine, you're good. It's not even the seasickness. It's just scared of being open water. And
Yeah,
I live
you'll
in
get over
Minnesota,
it.
so like lakes are normal. I can be
Hmm.
yeah. All right. I know
Yeah,
it makes no
you'll
sense.
you'll get over it. Okay. So day 4, Friday, March 31st. It's so cute. Is that Tara's?
Yeah.
Oh my
So I didn't attach
goodness.
the stick yet, and I used like
Uh-huh.
what colors I had because it was 6 o'clock this morning that I did it. So
That is incredible. I
isn't that
love
fun?
it with all the dimension.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
gosh,
she
that is
makes
so cute.
she makes cake toppers, and so most of her designs you can put a acrylic stick
Hmm.
and then insert it in top of a cake or something like that, or pan of brownies or whatever. I don't, um, but yeah. So I think that I really like the layered stuff. I like the dimension. So it's the one
Hmm.
thing that's got me actually doing some paper crafting, because I really wasn't like crazy about the paper crafting, but this layered
Hmm.
stuff I think is so fun. So we have some friends that are really good at it too.
Yeah,
Okay.
we have some really cool paper crafting friends. And Tara also does faux leather. Tara does
Does
all
she?
kinds of cool stuff. Yeah, she does. She
Okay,
does.
so
She does some really cool stuff.
I feel
Tara
like I should
Wiley.
mention. So she has a
Yeah.
ton of the cake topper designs in her shop, and as part of the VIP pass, she has a $15 store credit so to her shop so that you can go and pick out other designs as well. Which I thought
I
was so
love
fun
that.
that I told you to do it. And you're like, I could do that.
Yeah, no, I thought that was a really cool idea. And there have been tons of people going to my shop and picking out whatever they want.
Yeah.
Corey wants to know if you ever sleep. She does
Oh.
not. She does not.
Sometimes I take a nap during the day.
But you know what I love about that is it doesn't have to be a cake topper. Like you could put that in a shadow box. You could make that as a graduation gift for someone. You know, we're always thinking
Yeah.
about the graduation things. It
I
it
mean,
could be something that a school teacher cuts for their classroom. I mean, it really has a lot of nice
wouldn't it be kind of fun? I mean,
possibilities.
you might have to like, like adapt it, like write the adventure if you made it really small instead of
Hmm.
cutting it out. But, make a really cute tag for something
Oh
too.
yeah, for sure. I love that
Yeah.
project.
Okay,
Yep.
so there's that. And then Jamela has the hand sewn leather passport and wallet, or passport wallet, and then a little tag that goes with it. So that's when this morning too, I was thinking, okay, so it's hand sewn and I like to hand sew. And I was thinking
Hmm.
about the different threads and I was like, eat my breakfast. And I was like, do. I wonder if I'd use carpet thread or would I use embroidery thread? And so I was like, going through all these things in my head, right? Because, you're just
Hmm.
kind of like thinking. And then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I have all that faux leather I got that looks really, really cool.
Yeah,
And
that
then
would be
I,
cool.
and then I got sidetracked by like thinking about faux leather. So,
And then you got sidetracked. I get sidetracked thinking about faux leather too. But I love that because when we started with this theme, remember we thought, okay, what are like natural
you
travel
guys,
related things? What is that? And
it's
vinyl and that's not
it's
food safe.
no, it's the stuff like it's the little plastic things from the foam dots.
Oh, those go everywhere. So I was saying, we were thinking about travel related items that we hoped some of our crafty friends would make. And the luggage tag that Tisa did was a perfect fit. And then this, leather, the passport cover, again, we were really hoping that someone would make one of those. So that worked
Mm-hmm.
out well. I love that.
Did. Yeah, this whole thing has just been so cool to see how it like come together. Okay, so next is then we have Chelly on how to make an airplane travel scrapbook page. Now, I want to know, are there scrapbookers out there? Because like I don't create albums anymore, but sometimes I'll do
Hmm.
these scrapbook pages and just frame them
Hmm.
because I think it looks really cool.
It does look really cool. And I think that that's kind of it's an area of Cricut I haven't really gotten into. I've done a lot of digital scrapbooking because
Have
when
you?
my kids were little, yeah, like a ton in Photoshop. When my kids were little, I have all these books of them, and the pages I did up until they got a little older and we got busy with baseball. But I think scrapbooking is something that so many Cricut crafters do that you and I really haven't gotten into. So which is really cool.
Yeah,
And then, yeah, Sonia says she's a scrapbooker. PD doesn't scrapbook. Corey scrapbooks.
yeah.
Do you use your Cricut with it, or do you buy like the pre-made scrapbooking supplies, or kind of both?
Cricut started out as a scrapbooking tool, and then they
Hmm.
became like a cake making tool. They actually had a Cricut cake machine for a while.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
But it really was kind of a scrapbooking tool, which is why it
Hmm.
still kind of has more of a, do like the mindset of do a project and go, not necessarily design capabilities, because it
Hmm.
was coming from that background of being just another tool for scrapbookers to cut things.
Hmm.
And then it's
To
just
cut
kind of
things.
continued to develop. And yeah, it's cool to see.
Oh, wow. Lots of scrapbookers. Becky's a big scrapbooker. Kathy, Michelle. Interesting. Arlene. Wow. A lot of
Holly
scrapbookers.
wants you to tell us about the big ruler behind you.
Oh, the big ruler behind me. That's where we measure our kids. I got it on Etsy years ago, and then the kids every year on their birthday they stand up against the big ruler and we mark their heights. And the kids like to have a competition to say, "I'm taller than you were when you were 12." They like to do that. And then one year they thought it was funny. They stood the cat up, you know, on his back legs, and they marked him, and they've marked where the dog is. But yeah, what I like about it is I got it on Etsy. It rolls up to a little tiny tube. So if you move, you can take it with you. It's not like marking on the door frame, you know?
Yeah, we do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my folks moved, they did take that with. They took part of the door frame out and moved with it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea.
So it sounds like a lot of people have done scrapbooking or are doing scrapbooking. Let's see.
Yeah, that's really cool. Does anyone do like a scrapbooking event? I mean, I'm sure somebody does. We just don't know who they are. Maybe Chelly does. Does Chelly do something for scrapbooking?
I don't know if she does, but I know Jennifer Starr, she goes to them all the time up in Canada.
She does. Yeah, she does.
So actually, Becky said that she scrapbooked her cancer journey, which, you know, actually using crafts as a way to kind of mark or kind of even process things. Like our friend Emily, she actually has that's really her heart, is that how do I help people use arts and crafts and creativity to process things that are emotionally difficult. So she has a lot of cards that are like, yeah, this really sucks right now, instead of like, oh, you know, everything's awesome. So trying to kind of fill that niche, which I think emotionally is really difficult. But yeah, I mean, I think it's such a great, being able to be creative is such a great tool for being able to process things that are difficult.
It's very powerful stuff. I love that. Yeah, so Chelly has her scrapbook page. Oh, and then Debbie O'Neill is also up. She's doing a super cute travel tote bag.
Good job at bringing us back. You're like reeling us back in, and that's good.
I am.
Or was that a natural segue? Or was that you trying to say, okay, next, check?
Well, it was a natural segue until you interrupted me with all this giggling and whatever is happening right now. Okay. Focus.
I just always think it's funny when you try, like, I can see you just like, come on, Jen.
Yes. Okay. All right. Come back to me. All right. So Debbie O'Neill's travel tote, which is so cute. It has like a really cute sentiment, like live, love, travel. And I think it's two colors, and it can go on a tote bag. But it could also go on a shirt. It could go on a pillowcase. It could go on anything. And I know Debbie travels like for the weekend. I think she went to like Texas for the weekend, maybe Austin or something. And she just took it with her. It wasn't like a huge travel trip, but you always need a tote bag when you're traveling. It could even be a car bag, you know, for just things that you need in your car. So I love that. Yes.
Sorry,
look, a squirrel. Yes.
I saw that in the chat, which is why I wasn't laughing at you.
A squirrel.
Yeah, no, actually in the Facebook group, again, we'd love seeing the photos. I've seen Debbie's design on a backpack. I've seen it on one of those cute little like drawstring bags. I've seen it on tote bags. I feel like I saw it on something like a laptop case, I think. So yeah, a few different things.
You could do it on like a wood plaque kind of thing. It'd be really cute. You could do it on a shadow box. Maybe inside the shadow box, you know, you put memories from a trip or something, and that goes on the glass. It's a really versatile design. I like that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we also have, I'm looking at my lists right here. We also have Michelle
and some stickers.
Yes, Michelle from Weekend Craft. Now, she was on with us yesterday. I don't know if she was.
She was making me hungry yesterday. And we started talking about avocados for a while.
I actually have Michelle's stickers because I am a sticker fanatic. I love stickers.
You're so extra. Look at you.
So she is.
Her designs are so cute.
Oops, that one.
I love those.
So Rome. And San Francisco. I thought was really pretty.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like them too. So she had, I think, maybe 6 different ones. Oh, there's the little Switzerland. And I like these because I'm totally going to put them on my luggage.
I like them too.
You can make them bigger or smaller, you know, of course. But I just think that that's really fun. Or maybe I'll put them on a water bottle. I'm not sure. I did them in printable vinyl. So, but yeah, I really like. Cool. I like the designs. They're, you know, we tend to do cutesy a lot as crafters, I think, and I don't feel like these are like super cutesy, but yet they're really, you know, I like them a lot. They're like much more illustrated, and
they're kind of like sophisticated traveler I get that vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like
So
it.
I think they're really cool. I like them a lot. So I was excited to make those.
Oh,
Um,
Ardith said she decorated her suitcase so it's more distinctive and easier to find on the luggage carousel. That's pretty smart.
yep. Instead of just
I
looking for
like
that little
that.
tag, just go ahead and the whole thing.
Right.
Oh, Kathy
Kathy's
said
telling me it's
this.
print and cut.
Yep. Well, she's saying that it scares her too.
Yeah,
You know,
me
I don't
too.
know what it is, but it is like it's like another thing thinking, oh, I'm going to send it to my printer and
Right.
then from my printer to my Cricut. Like I think if
Right.
the Cricut print and cut, it wouldn't be so scary, but the fact that
hmm
you have to feel like you're coordinating between your printer and your cut. Maybe is that what it is? And
Yes, that part confuses me. So I've done it one time, and I have to
oh,
say,
you did.
when I actually, it was like 2 years ago. When I actually did it, it made more sense. But when you just hear about it, in theory, it's confusing. It's one of those things that you really have to try and then say, "Oh my gosh, that's easy." But I'm a little compulsive about like outlines and borders, and what stresses me out now is that it doesn't perfectly cut around
It's
the
getting
design.
better
Do you
with
know
the
what I
recent
mean? Yeah,
updates. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and I think again going back to that, I don't want to waste materials thing. So, I
yeah.
mean, people and it's printer ink and it's the actual paper, the sticker paper. So they're a
Right.
little more pricey.
That's
And the
true.
calibration. But you know what? The calibration again, if you just do it, it walks you through step by
hmm
step and it's really not
hmm
hard. It's actually really simple. It just sounds like it. Oh, Linda says that her oh, my mom loves the luggage idea. Linda
I saw
Troyer
that.
says that my printing or what did she say? I lost it.
Her
Oh, her
printer
printer.
jams, she said. Yeah.
Yeah. So that happens a lot with a thicker paper of any sort. So if you're in the market for a printer at some point, because they're not like for forever anymore, look for one that has a rear feed tray, because what happens is it comes in and goes out. It doesn't have to flip in the machine. So it's
Oh,
like a little thing to think about, but yeah, that makes a huge difference because you can do, all kinds of thicker paper because it doesn't have to bend in the machine. So
oh, I see. So you could do like thicker cardstock kind of thing?
you could. So I have the Canon Crafters printer because it
hmm
also does like a wide, like 12 by 12 borderless. So that sounded
hmm
cool to me when I was looking.
hmm
But it'll print like super thick cardstock. Like it's really nice that way. Like it just pulls it right through. So I've never had an issue with that one jamming, which has been nice.
Could it do like how thick? Like 100 pound, 110 pounds, something like that? Do you know?
I've done 110 pound.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wondering if I could do my own earring cards like that. Because now I have an earring card design and I cut it out with the Cricut, but I really want to print on the cardstock first and then cut it out. That's still print and cut, right? It's just not stickers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to put. I mean,
Oh,
the only thing about stickers is that it's sticker paper. I mean,
right.
here I did this.
So I so I
So
need a different. Oh, look at that.
it's just paper, right? So
Yeah. So I just need a printer with a 12 by 12 rear feed tray.
I mean, you don't have to get 12 by 12. I mean, but I do. I mean, so I'm one of those people that craft wise does not like limits. And yeah, there's some limits. I can't do like the 24-inch cutter or whatever like that. But so if I'm going to go find a machine like a printer and I'm going to look for one that gives me the, biggest sizes to print on
Right.
and that has, now that I make sure I get the one that has that rear feed. So for me, I
hmm
really do like my Crafters printer from Canon,
hmm
even though it's like seems kind of cheesy. It gives me that 12 by 12 borderless plus it gives me the rear feed.
Wow. So I'm just thinking. Okay, I'll talk to you about it later. I have an
Okay.
idea.
All right.
So next on the schedule
Okay. Oh.
is the really cool thing that I didn't know you could do with a Cricut. It's Jennifer Sanderson, and she's going to show us how to screen print with vinyl that you cut with your Cricut. How cool
Yeah.
is that?
Okay, so
That's
that one.
super cool.
Oh, Elizabeth has a Canon rear feed. Yeah, so just look
Oh,
for, it doesn't have to be the crafter's printer. Just look for one that has those two options if you're looking for a printer. But I do like
all right,
Canon,
Elizabeth.
and so does Elizabeth. Okay, so the screen printing with vinyl. All right, so that one you actually need some supplies that you don't necessarily just have on hand, because not everybody has a screen print thing. And Jennifer has put together with Speedball her very own kit. Did you know that that was actually like her thing?
I did. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. So she makes it really easy for the crafters that are coming at this with with their Cricut
Hmm.
to go ahead and
Hmm.
use the vinyl to create their screen prints. So I'm totally, and I think she even has a discount coupon on it, mate. Or I
I
don't know.
love that.
Yeah, because I was gonna look that up today and actually order that because that's been on my to-do list for a while, or to wish list, or to make list,
Hmm.
or whatever you want to call that list.
Hmm.
um,
So should we does everyone understand like what the advantages of screen printing versus printing
oh,
vinyl
I think
on
you
a
should
shirt?
explain that.
So with vinyl, right, we know the vinyl is really thin, like heat transfer vinyl, and when you cut it and you put it on a shirt, you can still kind of feel it. Even though it's thin, you can feel it, especially if it's a like a larger shape, a big circle or something like that. Even though it's super thin, you still feel it. But with screen printing, you're actually embedding, it's just ink that's going into the fabric. So you don't have that, it's called the hand, like it's the feel of the shirt. It's much more flexible and soft. And that's the
Mm,
screen printing is how you get that like cute vintage, tea look that's a little bit, not necessarily faded, but just worn in and comfortable, as
mm-hmm.
opposed to a stiffer design on a shirt with vinyl. And
Because you're
then it
basically
gets
painting it.
right, you're basically painting because you're putting the ink on the shirt. And then
Mm-hmm.
when you're doing a design that has more than one color and you're layering vinyl, now that thin layer of vinyl is getting a little thicker and thicker. But with screen printing, you can create multiple layers of colors and you still have that nice soft feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I really want to learn that technique. That's pretty cool.
So sublimation versus screen printing.
Yes, sublimation versus screen printing. So
So
with screen, oh, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say. I mean, you're the sublimation expert.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but when you're sublimating on fabric, one of the biggest issues you have is the ink is you can't sublimate white ink onto something dark, but you could screen print white ink onto something dark, and then you get that white on a darker, color shirt. So that would be another consideration.
But to get multiple colors, so if you have a design that's like multiple colors and a lot of gradations and more like a photograph sort of look to it, then
Yes,
sublimation would be because it's basically printing it.
right.
Um, so there's advantages and disadvantages to both,
Absolutely. And
and which
and
is why I think
for
that you could do both and get different looks and they're fun.
right. And then some designs, like you're saying, where it's more printed, screen printing, if you think about when you're cutting layers of vinyl, the layers kind of have to be shapes that can easily cut. Some images and photographs are not easily cut. So that when you're screen printing, you're basically creating a different screen for each of the color layers.
Hmm.
And that would become really challenging if you're recreating a photograph with
Yeah.
all these color variations. So then sublimation would be a better choice than even vinyl too.
But I kind of feel like with the screen printing, part of what I like about that is that it is, um, I think it is more of a like you can get a little messy with the paint, and there's can be variations, and there's you can like mix
Oh,
the ink
I don't.
as you're doing it,
Oh
and
no, no,
oh
messy,
no
no,
no
mixing, no,
no
no.
no
You're making my
no.
blood pressure. Yes, that's that's stressing me out right now. Mess, and it's not okay. Yeah, no. But that's good. That's good if you enjoy that.
Oh, and actually,
Thank you,
Kathy brought up
Elizabeth.
too that you can also screen print on cotton, whereas sublimation, you
Hmm.
actually, as Jennifer showed in her video, you can do sublimation on cotton, but you do have to have a spray or else,
Right.
there's additional steps there that you would have to take because ink does not want to work well with cotton.
You're right. That's an awesome thing to mention because I forgot about that.
So
Not everyone
anyhow,
likes polyester or, can find something they like in polyester. Yes, Candy, that's right. Screen printing lasts longer on baby clothes. That is true.
oh,
Teresa says screen printing is something she wants to try.
I love
Elizabeth gave
printing.
me
So,
her printer. I think Emily gave me her printer. I'm gonna look up some printers, y'all.
okay, so that is it for our Friday lineup for adventures. But we also have 2 excursions again for you guys. So,
Yay.
yes. So
I'm
one of
super
those
excited about
is
these.
Natalie. Now, Natalie was the one that brought to us the awesome, funny, glow in the dark pajamas. Like, so she has a pretty fun sense of humor. So we actually had her. We went to her and said, "Hey, Natalie, can you do something on foiling?" Because she
Mm-hmm.
had some really great videos out there on how to do foiling. And
Mm-hmm.
so she has Adventure into Foiling with Cricut. And she kind of took it and ran with it. And she's doing all kinds of different testing with the different. Because did you know that for the Joy, there's only one Cricut, or there's only one size tip for the foiling tool. But for the other machines, there's 3. You
Yes.
knew that?
And I did know that because I have both of them. And I've
Okay.
done 2 videos on how to foil
Oh,
faux
have you?
leather. Yes. So for the Joy and for the bigger machines. But the reason that I first discovered that Natalie was an expert in foiling was because I would get comments on my YouTube videos that people followed my technique and they foiled on faux leather. And then when they would rub it, the foiling would start to rub off a little bit. So Natalie has a really great technique for sealing the foiled faux leather, which I love to share
Oh,
with people. Yeah. So that's how I discovered she had these like expert tips and tricks in foiling. So we asked her to help us with our event by making that an excursion because a lot of people they buy the foiling tool and they love how the foiling looks, but they just want to be able to take it further.
yeah. I
Messy
have
or
to
not
say that
messy? Can
that
can
was
I
a.
vote? I can vote. Not
Uh,
messy.
oh,
Not
I don't
messy.
know where you
Oh,
guys are
not
seeing
messy.
these voting things. I don't see them. Um, okay, so, but I think it's, I mean, so I think that foiling was actually a hurdle for me. So
Yeah.
a lot of the things in this adventure are things that were something that I felt challenged by, including the
Mhm.
foiling.
Mhm.
Actually, just using my Cricut Joy was like a challenge at first because it's laid out different. Um, but yeah, so I mean, I feel like with this adventure, there's things that I'm like we brought in because there are things that we were thinking were something for us that were kind of challenging. So we wanted to be able to give people the resources to do it.
So I'm trying to think what have you foiled? Am I just not remembering a project that you've done where you've done foiling, or have you
I don't
not
think I've ever shown it.
experimented with it?
No, I
Oh,
have.
okay.
My mom and I have done some cards that we
Oh, okay.
foiled.
Mhm.
Um, but I was wondering if we could do foiling and faux leather because I think that Kathy mentioned it too. But doing like if we do another one of these adventures, that having a
Mhm.
little passport book would be fun, and then creating a little cover with a foiled like design, like our logo in foil.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Wouldn't that be like classy?
Yeah. I like that. That would be really cool. Yeah, the foiling on faux leather. So one of the tricks that's important is to make sure that the faux leather is really smooth. And also some faux leathers are like really shiny and they almost have like a waxy coating on them. It's not
Uh-huh.
really a coating, but it's like none of the polka dotted peach stuff is like that. But some of the stuff I buy from Amazon, it sort of has a thicker coating and then the
Hmm.
foil doesn't want to stick to it. And also some people try and foil on textured faux leather and that really doesn't work well because you can't get an even pressure.
Mm,
Yeah,
yep.
but the trick about the foil rubbing off over time, Natalie has a great solution for that.
Okay. Cool. I'll
Yeah.
have to look that up when I try it.
Yeah. Oh, Maria says foiling was the second thing she tried with her Cricut.
Something captures your imagination and you just go for it.
Hmm.
And
So,
that's
PD, it's not really difficult to do. It's just one of those things that like foiling just takes a little bit of extra time and setup and maybe a little experimentation to get the pressure right. Because you basically have whatever you have in the bottom, like the faux leather or the cardstock, and then you put the foil sheet down so that the foil is basically touching the cardstock, and you have to tape it down with a special tape they give you, and then the foil tip sort of presses down, and it
yeah, it
creates
doesn't
the
look like it should work as well as it does.
right.
But it really
So
does.
yeah, yeah. So it's really just how that setup process is, and then holding your breath while it's actually foiling because it starts, crinkling and doing
Yeah.
weird things, and you think it's gonna come
Like not
apart.
work. Yep.
Right.
Okay, so that's actually something good. Somebody here asked if you had any tips for some of the foil, getting some of that foil sheet residue off of the card mat.
Oh yes, I've done that.
Have you?
I let oh yeah, and I posted on an Instagram. It was a couple years ago, but yeah, the foil sheet stuck on my purple mat, and then I had a purple mat with a bunch of foil on it. And I never cleaned it because I thought it was kind of funny. But it would be I would if I wanted to clean it, I would try some of those techniques where people clean their Cricut mats and see if that works. The scraping and
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
dawn or
and
whatever.
actually, that's a good segue into a quick tip that I had. So somebody did email me and ask me about the wood shavings in their Cricut from
Mm-hmm.
having to like engrave the wood, and they're like, it gets back in there. What do you do? And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a couple things that I do. If I have little, like for the metal and stuff, if I have little pieces like debris in there, I have this like, and I put tape on it so that it sits into that slot in the Cricut where they think that
Uh-huh.
you should be able to fit your iPad or something like on the
Oh,
machine
right.
itself.
Uh-huh.
But because I
Uh-huh.
put tape there, then it fits in there, but I can pull it out again. And that way I just always have that with me. So
That's
that gets
clever.
into my Cricut. The other
You know what
thing,
I put in that slot? You know what I put in that slot? When my kids were younger, they would line up their Legos with their little feet because little Lego feet fit perfectly in that slot. Sorry
yeah.
though, go ahead.
No, actually, that's really cute though. Okay, so
Yeah.
something else that people have done in order to clean up their Cricut, and I haven't done this, is use the canned air. So they'll just take that and just kind of squirt it in there. I have to say for the wood engravings, I just took my Cricut and shook it, which
That
maybe.
works.
And so yeah, there's that. And then I think there are people have used little vacuums too. So
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even
just
think
different
about
things.
that, about the little wood shavings.
Yeah, well, it happens
Kim,
with acrylic and it happens with metal somewhat too. So
hmm that makes sense. Kim is asking, can you make your mat sticky again? A few of hers don't even hold the cover on anymore. And I know that there are people that do different. Do you clean your mats? Do you clean your mats or do you just buy new mats?
I have cleaned some like with the wood one here.
Yeah.
With the engraving, there was just like it was a pretty brand new mat, so I didn't want to just whatever. But I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I tried brushing it off. That didn't work really well, so I just stuck it under the water in my sink
Hmm.
and like rinsed it off, and then like lightly, and then you just let it air dry so it gets tacky again. And yeah, it worked.
Yeah, that's cool. I think Jamela has a video on how to clean the mats.
Yeah, like legit clean them. Yep.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find that because that was helpful. I end up buying new ones just because when I make videos, they look really gross, when they're all disgusting in a video. So I don't like that so much. And then
Uh-huh.
I save the ones that look yucky, and that's just where I do my test cuts and stuff.
Yep. I agree. I have to say that I've noticed that like they'll sell them for the same price, like a set of 3. Cricut will sell on Amazon the mats for
Hmm.
the same price that they're for like one of them in Michael's. So that's kind of
Hmm.
strange, but so look for that.
Yeah, that's always good. Whenever I'm doing like a workshop or a course or something, I'll buy a fresh 3-pack of mats just so I
Yeah.
have them ready and they look pretty. Yeah.
But then do
And
you
then
throw
joy
the old
mats
ones
too.
away or do you just keep like do
No,
you ever
I
throw them
save
away?
all of them.
I
I really
know.
don't. As long as I can use it, because I test cut a lot and stuff like that. So as long as it has some sticky, and if it doesn't have sticky, so like there's a couple tricks I use for when the mats are not sticky in on the canvas in Design Space, especially cutting faux leather. You know how Design Space always puts your design, if you're doing something small like I do, it always puts it in the top left corner of the
Hmm.
mat. So I'll drag it to different spots on my mat
So you're
before I
not
cut
always
it.
cutting the same spot.
Right. No, I try to avoid always cutting in that top left corner. And then what was my other tip? Oh, now I can't remember. I had another tip for keeping. Oh, if they lose sticky in a certain spot, I like to use strong grip transfer tape, and I'll cut a little piece and I'll put it down so sticky side up
Hmm.
of the transfer tape on the mat, and it sticks to the mat. And then now the sticky surface of the transfer tape is facing up, and that's what I can stick my faux leather to.
So lots of people do that just to keep their mats clean. So like for
Right.
using
I do
felts,
that with glitter.
I did it with felts. I haven't done it with glitter, but you could do it with the foiling. And also then, I mean, I did tell people in my video on the engraving wood that that's totally an option, because then, you know, they don't have to worry about their mat getting wood.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Lots of people talking about cleaning their mats.
Yeah, they
And
use
then-
Dawn.
Yeah. And then we have another excursion tonight, don't we?
Oh, we do.
This one's
Sorry.
super.
Yes.
This one I'm super excited about also.
Well, do you want to tell us about it then?
Yes. So Abbi Kirsten, who we love, 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 love.
She's one of our
And-
favorites.
She's one of our favorites, and she's so talented at so many things, but she makes a lot of paper flowers, and she cuts a lot of cardstock for other projects. She's the one who did the amazing map, the photo map on day one, where you cut out the United States, and then she teaches you how to make all the little shapes with photos.
Mhm.
Anyway, she is doing a special excursion for us, teaching us all her tips and tricks for cutting cardstock, which is great, because sometimes, like, you know how these
Just
designs
this
are.
morning, I cut my cardstock, and it just kind of, it caught, and it kind of ripped. And I was
Yeah,
like, I just cut 10 things, and it didn't do that. Why did it do it now? I don't know, you know?
Right. So, like, if you're a fan of Craft with Sarah or Joa Crandall, where they're making these amazing layered paper designs, and you're making really intricate cuts, you basically need every trick in the book just to help you out, so you don't mess up your multi-layered project. So Abby's going to share her expert tips, which I think is super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the, Corey's fangirling about Abbi. We all fangirl about Abbi.
100%.
But yeah, it's one of those things that it's almost like it's a basic Cricut thing, you know, cutting paper.
Mhm.
But it can be the difference between really enjoying what you're doing, if you can just go through and pull it off and cut it and pull it off. Getting styled out and getting a good cut. Like my mom and I were doing some ornaments over the summer, and we just could not get the paper. Like we had a different type of cardstock we were using, and I had never tried the intricate cut before, and so we finally tried that, and that is what. And I had to adjust the pressure, even I think, in custom settings for this one particular type of paper, and then it cut great. But you know, if it's not cutting great, it's so frustrating.
Yeah, especially in like a multi-layer design where, you know, you just want every layer to cut well. So if anyone's going to teach expert cardstock cutting tips, Abbi is the expert. So
Yeah.
super excited about that.
Yeah, I love that a lot of our excursions are deep dives into something in particular. So some of them are more like, let's just give you something off the beaten path. But some of these are just like the foiling and the cardstock today really are just kind of going deeper into something. Which
And
cool.
and we're calling it an excursion, and we say tonight, and we say like kind of at the end of the day, but it's really not at the end of the day. That's just in our brain how we separated them out on the schedule. You can watch the excursions at any time. So they're available now. If you're VIP, they're there in the course platform. If you have the free ticket, you can watch them anytime in the next 24 hours between 9 a.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. And then remember, tomorrow we'll be pushing live Jennifer Maker's replay of her sublimation excursion. That was the one live that we did, remember? And then it's going to go, the replay will be available tomorrow for everyone to watch. So really tomorrow, when we have excursions, you'll also see that one.
Well, we have Naomi's glass etching. Yep.
Right.
All right.
So we'll have 2 excursions tomorrow, one of which will be the replay of Jennifer Maker's sublimation live, because that was really cool.
Kind of looking towards next time. I'm wondering how many people would be interested in an excursion on, say, using a laser machine.
Oh, I bet there would be a lot of people. I really wanted to do that this time.
Well, we can't do everything, can we?
We can't do everything. But I wonder if it would make sense to have someone do one with a Glowforge and have someone do one with an X tool, because it seems like there are a lot of people interested in an X tool as well. I think we're going to have to buy an X tool. Just saying.
I don't think my garage will fit anything else. I might need to move for my craft toys.
Right. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's so
I'm
funny.
sure my dad would just let me put things in his garage. That's what I used to do when they lived in the same state. I'd be like, "Hey,
Hmm.
Dad, can I come up to use your warm, heated garage? That's really nice, and we can make wood stuff."
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
That's
So,
awesome. I love that. I'm excited for today's.
so I guess you guys have just been like following along and coffee chatting, and nobody's really asked a ton of questions.
I think they're
So,
just, listening to us talk about cookies and.
well, I love it because everybody's just kind of chiming in too, which is like seriously, isn't this fun to like have the chat and then the two of us and
It is. It's really fun.
yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Sonia's asking how much longer will we have access to the presentations and files with the VIP? So Sonia, we settled on 3 years, 3 years access. And that's because in 3 years, the techniques we're showing you in Design Space, Design Space is going to change a bunch. And it's just not, those presentations aren't going to be as relevant or helpful in 3 years. So you'll have the videos, you'll have all the downloads. You just won't have like some of the speaker bonuses and the sponsor bonuses. They are going to expire. I would say
Yeah.
most of them are around 3 months time, but some of them might have longer
Yeah, so be sure to grab
time
those.
frame.
Like maybe we should
Yes.
send out an email just reminding people to do that
Hmm. That's a
before
good
they do
idea.
expire. But
That's a good idea.
yeah, and you know what? We can reevaluate in 3 years too if we want.
Hmm.
But I just when we had to kind of make a decision on that, and
Right.
we just yeah. So things. I mean, seriously, things change so quickly. It's just in that when you're dealing with technology, that at some
Yeah.
point things don't even they're not even applicable anymore. So
Right.
or they're just confusing because
Right. Because the screens don't look the same and stuff.
yeah.
I
All
always
right.
wonder that about YouTube. Like some of my older YouTube videos, like you
Mm-hmm.
can't go back and edit the screen share, you
No.
know? So how would you even do that to update? I guess you post an updated video
Well,
and then
yeah,
you
but
give
they don't
people.
seem to get. I mean, people don't seem to find. So I mean, even
Hmm.
though I've done that with my stickers,
Hmm.
because over the years I started out doing stickers one way, and then in Procreate especially, I found some like hacks and ways to do things a lot more easily as I learned how to do
Hmm.
it. And so I did an updated sticker video, a couple of them, but they don't really get the views that my original did because of the algorithm. So I try to point to
Uh,
them, but yeah, no. So
Interesting.
it's almost like, once it's there and you don't really have control over, who sees it. So in search.
Oh, Kathy, Kathy suggested doing an excursion on how to cut with multiple machines at one time. You know who's really good at that? Jamela. Jamela, I've seen
Does
her
she?
on Instagram. Oh yeah, she'll have a reel and she'll have like 6 crickets cutting at one time. We could get her to do that. That would be cool.
I've only done that once, and that was when I was trying to get like 400 stickers cut for my church women's banquet,
Uh-huh.
and my sticker paper like was getting delivered from Amazon because I'd run out, and so I literally had like an hour to cut these, and so I'm like running between machines back and forth and back and forth, and that was
Wow.
pretty frantic.
That is
Actually got it
crazy.
done though. They're cute.
Oh, Kimberly says, "Wow, you're still on. Thought I would have missed it today. We are still on, but we are wrapping it up, Kimberly, because we
Is
know
that
that
embarrassing?
you are
No, we had
still
stuff to
having
talk
coffee.
about.
We did. We did have stuff to talk about.
I actually feel
And
like we covered a lot more techie stuff this time, or crafty, like, stuff than
yeah,
we have before.
yeah, no, that's true. I agree with that. So tomorrow is the last day. Tomorrow, tomorrow I have to talk to you because my daughter has a cheer lesson, a tumbling lesson at the time we have coffee chat. So I'm gonna have to see if I know, I'm gonna have to see, and um, Ray's leaving with the other one of my other boys for baseball. But I'll see if
Mm.
Chase can drive her there.
Oh yeah, because
So
it's
I'll
a
let you know.
weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll keep it at this time and I'll work it out. But
Okay.
yeah.
Or we can. I mean, we can be flexible too. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't wanna confuse all of our friends that like having coffee with us at 10
yeah.
o'clock.
I
Yeah.
like having coffee with us at 10 o'clock too. It's fun, and with all of you
Yeah, we'll
guys.
figure it out. Yeah.
All right. Well,
So yeah.
I think I don't see. Oh, a couple questions about the X tool, but we don't have an X tool, so we can't really answer that.
Yeah,
Um,
we're gonna do some research though, because I know there's a couple different models and wattages and stuff like that. So,
oh, Monica said she should have purchased the VIP. Monica, you can still purchase the VIP. Actually, the VIP is okay. So, you guys, we didn't want there to be this big, huge hurdle between buying the VIP during the week and buying the VIP beforehand. And so the price went from $47 to $59. So
hmm
it's really not that big of a deal or
hmm
difference. But after the end of the event, it goes up to $97. So there is quite a bit of a hurdle there, or like,
hmm
monetary jump there.
yeah,
So $59 right now till the end of the event. And then you still get that $2,600 worth of bonuses. You get, all kinds of stuff. And when you think about the 39 different videos alone, I feel like $59 is well worth it. But
yeah,
so
yeah.
you
I
can
have to
still
agree
get
with that.
that.
And I think there's lots of people that started watching and had all these ideas about how many videos they could watch in a day, and maybe they got behind or they got distracted, something happened. So it's nice to still be able to buy that. Oh, Jasper just posted the VIP
Oh,
link,
he
so that's helpful.
did. Good
Yeah,
job,
thank you,
Jasper.
Jasper. Thank you.
Yep.
All
So
right, well,
yeah,
I think
that's
we
just
are wrapping
something to
up
think
here.
about.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you for mentioning that. That's
Yeah.
helpful.
I would like everybody to have it because I feel like there's such great value there. We really did
hmm
try to stuff it full of stuff. Okay,
Yes.
so what are you going to be working on today, Amy?
I'm still working on my super secret project, and then I have another secret project that I'm working on. And then tonight, my kid has another epic baseball game. He's not
Oh yeah.
pitching, but I want to
Yep.
go and show up because one of my best baseball mom friends, her son is pitching tonight. So I have
Okay.
to get all that stuff wrapped up. What about you? What are you working on today?
Well, I've been trying to kind of make some of the projects and I think tomorrow's schedule. Let's see. Tomorrow, oh yeah, there's a few things here on tomorrow's schedule that I really wanted to do. So, in fact, the rhinestone, Jen Starr's rhinestone mountain shirt, I actually got the stuff to do that. So I'm gonna try to do that, I
Yeah.
think. But there's some really fun looking things tomorrow, so we'll see. Um, but I also have a super secret project, not to try to be all cool like you, but
Do we have the
I
same? Are we? Do we
I
have the same
have
super secret project? I think we
I
do.
have 3 or 4 super secret projects that are backing up quickly and
Show off.
so anyways, so I really probably should, not sit here and make stuff all day like I'd like to and maybe work on my projects, but at the same time it's pretty tempting. So and I'm telling myself I'm doing it for this.
hmm
As
hmm
soon as this is over, I can't say I'm doing it for work anymore. So my excuse is gone. So we'll have to see.
Aw, Corey says she misses sports with her kids. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to miss. I don't want to miss. So I try and that's why I wake up so early so I can get work done so I can do sports in the
you do wake
afternoon.
up early.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tammy says she loves the chats, and I think she's still camping, so that's pretty great.
Oh, that's
Okay.
awesome. All
Oh,
right, so we're
sorry.
gonna.
Oh, just a second, really quickly, because Janet asked about the Procreate brushes and downloading those, and it says that they're not
Oh, okay.
supported. Okay, so so Procreate is a .procreate file. It's not like it's .svg or .png or whatever like that. So you can't really open them on your computer or laptop. It has to be on the machine that you're using for Procreate, which is probably your iPad that has Procreate on it. And then there is a little bit of Google Docs is being a little bit difficult, or the Google Drive is being a little difficult with those files. So what I did is I have in the Facebook group, and we have it in our help at Cricut.com, and I have it on my Facebook page. I have a direct link to my blog for the free downloads for the Procreate brushes, so that people can just go ahead and directly download it and not have to go through Google. And then
Oh, cool.
it goes right into your files. You tap it to open, and if you have Procreate open at the time, it automatically imports. So, yeah,
That's
help.
helpful. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Help at Cricut.com or help at CricutAdventure.com is our help desk, and they've been super, super awesome about all those things. So,
Right. And it's not us. Like we actually have trained professionals handling the help desk. It's not just like when Jen and Amy have time.
yeah,
So
thank goodness, right?
seriously, if you have any trouble with anything, send them a message and they'll be able to help you.
Yeah. And none of this sets
Yeah.
down when the event's over either. We'll continue to, be there for you guys.
Right.
So.
Right. And support you.
Yeah.
Well, should we wrap it up?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday and have a great day.
And I hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. You too, Amy.
All right. Yay. Bye, Jen. Bye, everyone.